This is episode number 30 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We are so glad that you could be with us this dreary, rainy morning.
Yeah, it is. It's a little wet outside.
It's a special edition, man. The first morning edition of the Homeowner Show.
It's the first time. Well, it's the first morning show in this building.
Studio, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have done another morning show, haven't we?
Yeah. Our Master Gardener episode is in the morning.
We took the tour in the morning. It was creeping into the afternoon when it
was lunchish.
But this is episode number 30, so I think that officially makes the Homeowner Show a millennial.
It's. That's a good thing.
I don't know. She's becoming rather demanding and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. But 30, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, we're working our numbers up.
You're still here. I haven't fired you yet.
So far, so good. Yeah, we are still having people download our episodes. So
yeah.
In fact, we're
and not for the bad reasons that we used to be getting them
That's
for.
right. Please download. No, we're creeping up on some good numbers.
Yeah. What's been going on, man?
Well, most recently, I'll tell you one thing that has happened over at my house is so we've got this weird atrium area as you walk into our house.
Wait, there's something weird about your house?
Yeah.
I thought that was exclusively the property of my domain is the weird things.
This is kind of weird cool.
Oh, okay.
Not like weird. Okay. So there's
Fine.
this
yes, still have it.
That's right. So as you kind of walk into to the front part of our house, there's this outdoor atrium area that's almost inside our house. Our house kind of surrounds this place. And it's outdoor in that it's the roof is over it, but it's screened, so it still rains in there and everything. And
I've seen it. It's a good place to lock your kids up.
It is
when you don't want them in the house.
Yeah, you
can stick them in this thing, and they can't get out.
Yes, correct. It's a fun place, but with moisture in there and everything, it was time to pressure wash that ground. So we got it's paved with pavers. The whole thing is covered with pavers, so it's power washing this thing, and inside we have a sump pump to get that water out. So
like any good sailboat.
Yeah, exactly. And I've talked about this sump pump before because during Harvey the thing froze up and I was having to siphon the water out of there. It was awful. But so all of this water was getting there because I was power washing it, and I was done. I was cleaning up. I was I was getting all the muck out of there, and all of a sudden, my sump pump stops working. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, because the cool thing is my home warranty, when they replaced this sump pump the first time after Harvey, they made a mistake. And instead of putting in a plastic one like they had, they ordered a cast iron one, which is 3 times the cost, but they didn't charge me for it. It was just kind of their mistake. But it's they're like, this thing's never gonna stop working. It's awesome, and it's a grinder. So literally, if debris gets in there, it grinds it up and then sends it out to where the exit is. So I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. So what did I do? I called our good friend Ryan Burke, and I said, Ryan, here's the deal. Sump pumps better than I do. How bad is this? Do I need to call a plumber? You're my plumber, so do I need to call you to come out here and do this? And he was like, man, he asked me a couple of questions, and he said, is the motor still humming? And I said, yes, the motor's humming. He said, well, then it's not froze up. It's still good. He said, there's something lodged somewhere that it's not able to do what it needs to do. Okay, challenge accepted. So I go out and this is just kind of the thing, man. DIY or calling someone, right?
Yeah.
So thankfully, I knew someone to call to ask what to do, and then
happened to have interviewed them.
Yes.
What episode was that, by the way? Do you remember?
Oh, probably.
I want to say 25,
20, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
it was 5 or 6 episodes ago, at least. Anyway, so I get in there, take it out, and I'm like, this thing is. I don't see anything, but I noticed that I could actually take it apart with 3 little bolts. So I take the bolts off, take it out. There's a screw stuck in the grinder.
Ooh.
And I mean, this thing is cast iron, and it hadn't hurt it one bit, but the screw was causing it to not be able to turn.
It was just seasoning it up.
It was seasoning it up, took the screw out, boom, perfect. Put it back together, put the thing back in there. Thank you, Ryan Burke.
There you go.
So that's my lesson for today is don't be afraid to get into stuff, because honestly, if I'd got in there and something worse was happening, I would have just called Ryan anyway, and I would have already had it taken apart, and he would have been something he didn't have to do.
Yeah. I'm sure Ryan's listening to this going, man, I really wish Kevin would have mentioned to like unplug it and don't stick your hand in the grinder.
Wait, I was supposed to unplug it?
That'd have been a good addendum.
Yeah.
So,
No, I did unplug it.
Let's CYA on the homeowner show, okay?
I did unplug it. But anyway, so that happened over at my house, and we're good to go now. And we got a nice clean atrium area. And I don't know if we call it courtyard. That's what we call it. Why'd I call it an atrium?
I don't know.
I'm
Sure
an
house.
idiot.
You can call it what you want. You can call it Jeffrey. I don't care.
Well, Jeffrey's something else, so we're not going to call that. So
We'll have to get into that later.
yeah, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. Yeah.
Good.
I'm just, man, I've got like 2 coffees in me, so I'm just,
Yeah.
I kept wanting to interject in your story, and I had like 5 things I could have said the whole time, and I reserved.
Wow, you had a filter?
I did a little bit.
That's interesting.
First time for everything, I
There
suppose.
is a first time for
That's
everything.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
So, but we have Ashleigh from the local chamber here, and the chamber here has a long name, right? I mean, it's like
Yes.
Because help me out, what is it? It's
the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce.
so Conroe's in there twice.
Correct.
Conroe, Lake Conroe.
Split up by a lake, yeah. Conroe and with another Conroe with a lake in there, Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. It used to be the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. It used to be the Greater Conroe Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. But now it's just the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce.
Because that's not confusing at all.
Right.
And that's a result of the Great Revolt of 1987, or
about a couple, maybe a couple years ago, that a lot of 105 into Montgomery was taken by Conroe. A lot of the water and that type of stuff, systems and whatnot, like through April Sound area,
Yep.
are now Conroe.
Yeah, that's actually where I live. And,
Me too.
Hey. Oh, hey, neighbor.
Neighbor. Hey,
Look at
neighbor.
us, we're making connections already.
That's right. But yeah, they annexed part of
Right.
April Sound. So
Right.
Is it just part of it? They don't have all of it?
I don't think so. I think it's only part of it.
Yeah, I think it's to a certain depth towards the lake.
Okay.
I think because then it is where it's Montgomery. Like my address is Montgomery, but my water is Conroe.
Yeah.
So whatever. I don't know. I don't know a whole bunch about that stuff. I do know a whole bunch about the chamber, though, so I'm here to answer your questions about that.
Well, good. Well, I am curious.
Water, I can't help. But
No. Yeah.
your sump pump, I'm really screwed. Don't call me. Call Ryan for sure.
You know, like one of our earlier episodes, we actually we had a mayor on to talk about water rights that was going on, and it was kind of a hotbed political issue at the time.
Absolutely.
And we did the episode, and like it was almost like 2 hours after the episode dropped, we got this email from a CEO who owned the company that was trying to take over the water. And he was like, I just heard your episode and we want to come on and talk to you and set the story straight. And we're like,
all right, bro.
Well, that episode won't come out until after the vote. And we didn't hear any more from him after that.
We're like, sure, come on. But
let's go.
Yeah, it'll be after the vote. And he was like, not worth it.
So
not worth it.
So yeah, we like to avoid water issues as well.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm glad you know stuff about the chamber, because I'll tell you, I don't own a business, and I don't know anything about the chamber, what it's for, what the benefits are, who can be a member. I don't know anything. So
if you can remember all those questions, Kevin would like to hear the answer to them.
Right. We should wrote all those down.
That's right. The only reason I ask those questions is because, I mean, surely I'm not the only person out there that doesn't have these questions, right?
No, absolutely. My dad has been an entrepreneur since 1987, and I just let him know when I first started working at the chamber that we were even a nonprofit. He had no idea. Had always been a part of the chamber, had always been a part of different groups and stuff like that as far as community advocacy and that type of stuff. And he's like, you guys have volunteers doing work for you guys? And I'm like, yeah, because we're a nonprofit. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah, we have 6 employees and we have 1,000 members. Like there's only so much, critical mass we can really reach here, with just 6 people. So, the Conroe Chamber, along with every other one, you can just call it the Conroe Chamber because that pretty much sums it up.
We don't do like abbreviations like the CLC.
Yeah, right. OC. Exactly. The CLC OC. Right. Chambers tend to do a lot of different things that people don't know that we do. We are a nonprofit organization, a 501c6. I think that has to do with our tax exemption and whatnot, but not so much as like a real full-blown charity like a food bank or something of that nature. As far as what we do for small businesses, we provide networking opportunities. So if you want to come in and meet some different business owners, different entrepreneurs, small business owners, local business owners, even marketing people, finance people, everybody, we have breakfast and we have after-hour events called Fun After 5 that you guys can come to. And every chamber kind of provides those type of networking things.
Wait, Kevin can come?
I guess.
I'm not coming.
You have to wear, but you have to wear pants. Okay,
well.
Rules are rules, buddy.
I'm right out. You have to wear closed-toed shoes as well.
Right? No, you can wear flip-flops if you like.
Okay.
I have sandals on today.
Okay.
So we have those kind of opportunities. Another big part of what a chamber does is governmental affairs and other kind of like community advocacy programs. As far as going, like since we're in Texas, we go to Austin every other year and do Montgomery County Day at the Capitol, where and most chambers in Texas do this, where they plan a couple days to come down to Austin, meet their legislators, and talk to them about the issues that are affecting the people in their community. So really talking to people in the trenches about people in the trenches so they can represent their constituency better, instead of just being these kind of highfalutin people up in Austin, and that's it, Another thing we really provide, and most chambers provide, is a certain level of continuing education for small business owners. Or local business owners, whatever you are. We have a program here called Professional Business Development, but a lot of people call it Chamber University or Small Business Association and all sorts of different stuff. They call it different things all over the country, but it's just continuing education, really.
Right.
Do you want to start a business? How do you start a nonprofit? How do you do your taxes once you start? How you market as far as using social media, or how to even get in contact with people to do a billboard or anything like that. We have a long list of different things that we hold these workshops on. If it's leadership, all that type of stuff that people can learn more about how to run their business better and keep the people in mind and their employees in mind to make the whole community grow. Another one of our core values is really kind of providing that leadership at different levels within the education and employment process. So we have a program here called Next Generation Leadership, which is for high school seniors. They can go through all these different leadership courses and stuff like that, graduate and get scholarships. We also have it for older people, not older people because any of us could go, but you could be 80 if you wanted as well. Called LMC, Leadership Montgomery County, which used to be a part of the chamber, and now is its separate 501c3 where you can take leadership classes in all these different areas and learn how to be a better manager of people. So it's kind of in a nutshell what we do. We also hold a lot of events because we are a nonprofit. So we like to raise money, if it's either to run the chamber as far as overhead goes, or even to provide those scholarships and everything for the Montgomery County Fair. For people that, come through 4-H or Future Farmers of America, they can get scholarships from the chamber.
Okay.
We have job fairs that we raise money, as far as coming in and that type of stuff and getting vendors for their, paying for their booth. And all that money goes towards scholarships to Lone Star College, wherever they want to go to get certified in a huge variety of different industries.
A lot of education stuff going on there.
Yeah. Education is, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you don't know, you can come in and learn more about oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. Or you can, a lot of people have this aspiration to manage or start their own business, but just have no clue where to start. And the chamber is an awesome place to do that.
So with the one that really that you just mentioned that stood out to me were the seniors in high school. Mm-hmm. What kind of stuff are you guys, educating those guys on that are, trying to move in towards those scholarships?
Well, we partner with an organization, another nonprofit called Education for Better Tomorrow Association, I believe, EFTA, and we work with them to get internships lined up. We have the businesses and they have the interns, so then we can put people in the right positions.
Nice.
And we also host different workshops as far as resume building, as far as interview practice, and even going into things like coming into Conroe Regional Hospital, going to places, in the oil and gas industry, Huntsman, that type of stuff, where they can go for a day, like this whole class of people, there's about 40 or 50 kids in it that are chosen, almost to be in this group. And they go one day a month to kind of see what different industries are like. So one day would be oil and gas, one day would be healthcare, day would be education as far as working for one of our independent school districts. So they have a whole semester, I believe, or school year or so, to kind of go once a month to kind of see a different industry, see what they want to be in, practice interviewing, practice writing their resume, and then at the end, they pick a couple that get scholarships to go through and go to whatever college they want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So one of the things that I hear, and maybe this is just very elementary, but one of the things I hear you saying is, so the chamber is, we live in a community, and in this community, the goal is for this community to thrive.
Right.
And so the chamber is out there to really help people thrive better,
right?
So that more businesses would be interested in coming in, so that more people would be interested in moving to the area. And so it's kind of a people helping people thing, in that the more education you've got about how to be a better business, the better business you are, the more people are going to want to be in this area.
The more people you can hire.
Sure.
The bigger your business gets, the more people you can hire, the more houses we have to build, the more hospitals we have to build, the more schools we have to build.
Okay.
And it just keeps growing and growing, and adding to each other. I mean, people helping people. Like our slogan for a long time was "In business for business" since 1934, and that was our entire business. We're going to connect you with you, and how can you guys help each other out? I'm a marketer, and I'm going to make a podcast about home ownership. How can we put this together?
Right.
How can we, well, how about we try this on social media, and how about we try this with some SEO, and how about we, and just to make those connections. And your network is your net worth.
Okay.
As far as just the more people know, and be like, oh, like conveniently you knew Ryan who could come out and check out your sub pump, Right. And it's like, if you didn't know anybody, it's like, oh, who do I go to? Who do I talk to? Who can I trust to come out to do this? When you belong to a chamber and you've talked to these people at our morning mingle breakfasts or the after hours, fun after 5 networking events, you're like, you know what? I talked to somebody last week that was doing this. Maybe I'll give them a call, and it just automatically makes that rapport and that friendship that you wouldn't have otherwise, and it just helps everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big difference between like looking up a business on Facebook and actually having had a previous face-to-face conversation with somebody that when you call that's who I'm looking for, that's who that's who I've already talked to,
right?
And that's just I mean, and I think that's becoming more and more odd for people to have those kinds of interactions.
Absolutely. The face-to-face conversation that we have with people, sometimes an email is great, and sometimes you shoot somebody a text and that's perfect, and that's sufficient. But that kind of handwritten note, that face-to-face conversation is really something that I really feel like there's going to be a sea change to come back to that, because I think that what we're missing nowadays is that really human connection, and that being in marketing, being the director of marketing for the chamber, like that's what we were kind of missing in our marketing, having that human connection, like real faces of people that are members of the chamber, and it's worked for their business.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a lot in my mind to trust. I mean, because I don't even necessarily trust all of the reviews that are online.
Right.
In fact, there's a reason now on Amazon you have beside the reviews you had verified purchase,
right?
Or or someone was paid to leave this review, right? They were given a free product and then told, in order to keep your free product, you've got to go leave us a review. Well, that's that doesn't work for me, honestly. I like the people that buy it because for other reasons, and so. One of the things that's really nice about that face-to-face is I don't just have to go off of a Google review, or I don't have to go off of somebody else's advice. I'm talking directly to you. I see your eyes. I hear your voice.
Right.
And, maybe we grab lunch together at some point, and all of a sudden you talk about rapport. That rapport changes my ability to want to work with you, and I think that again it builds everything up differently than just this online presence that It's
Absolutely.
good. It's just not always sufficient.
Right. I mean, a lot of people that get on Yelp or Google reviews and that type of stuff have a mission. Like they're pissed.
Yeah.
They had a bad experience and they want to make sure that business owner feels it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot. I mean, just being in marketing kind of as long as I have been, like you have to answer those people and you have to be diplomatic and you have to, register like, okay, is that an issue that we can work on within our business? If it is the temperature of the food or whatever it is. But it's a stranger still that word of mouth is really coming back in vogue, and the chamber is such a great, cool place to start that.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you guys are facilitating a lot of other conversations. I mean, I think I saw recently you guys had like a community development kind of a talk where there was like 5 or 6 guys up on the stage talking about like some communities that are being built, different things like that.
Yeah, we actually have a series called The Pulse, which is kind of a play on words as far as keeping the heartbeat of our constituency. We're doing a state of the city, a state of the state, a state of the county, a state of the nation, all sorts of different things every other month or so. So the last one that we did was the state of the city, and we did have a couple different congressmen, councilmen and that type of stuff come up. As far as the CEO or president, I can't remember her full title, of the Conroe Economic Development Council. Danielle Shiner, she came up and talked about some stuff and just where Conroe is growing. It's really going and growing. I mean, it's really pretty incredible to be the fastest growing city in America per capita. I mean, that's amazing. And we're just breaking records right and left. And it's really cool to see the education coming here, the jobs coming here, the people coming here. And, our people that are representing us, whether it's citywide or nationwide, are really, trying to keep that infrastructure growing, at an exponential rate as well.
Yeah.
So we aren't stuck in traffic as much, and we aren't, everything is kind of growing at the same rate, or at least trying to keep it close. And that's a big part of what the chamber does, as far as either educating the constituency or the community at large about these type of events and construction and all that type of stuff.
Sure.
Or us going even to Austin or wherever, and Washington, D.C. we went last year to talk to our representatives to say, this is what's happening. Like we're the fastest growing city in America. Like what monies are coming here, what jobs are coming here, what industry, what's coming here to facilitate this type of growth.
Yeah.
And, it's cool to kind of have a hand in that.
Absolutely. I imagine that's kind of, it's exciting, while for you guys it could even be like a little overwhelming with like as much that's coming in and happening. You've kind of got to address your strategies and look at the way that what kind of education you guys are providing for these businesses.
Absolutely. Obviously it's taken a real turn over the last several years, decade or so, about how marketing is done. Specifically in my kind of silo of the business, as far as how digital marketing has happened with SEO and SEM and social media and all these different platforms that have come out. It's like, wow, we have so many options now. We have so many impressions that are just kind of like flying out of, if it's a podcast, if it's Facebook, if it's Twitter, if it's Instagram, if it's digital marketing on a website, if it's, all sorts of different stuff. And so to educate people that maybe have been in business and are just an amazing plumber or amazing at whatever they do. They might have been in the plumbing business for 40 years, but have no clue how to start a Facebook page.
Right.
So having that education available for free or really low cost for anybody in the community to come and try it out is cool and humbling and exciting to be a part of.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I just heard you say that is really interesting to me, that we're the homeowner show, right? And so we're going to try to continue to bring it back a little bit to homeowners. But for example, one of the things that a homeowner might be able to do is, let's say they have a plumber over and they say, hey, I'd like to, say something about you on Facebook or whatever. And maybe they say, well, we don't have a Facebook page.
Right.
It would be really great for them to say, well, are you a member of the chamber? And if they say yes or no, it doesn't really matter what their answer is. Maybe a homeowner could even say,
they can help you make one.
Yeah.
Right.
The chamber is available to help you make that, and it might really build your business. And the reason that a homeowner might want to do that is because the more businesses are doing well, the better your home value is going to be whenever people want to move into that area. Your home the value of your home and the land that it sits on is going to go up.
We've seen it just happen exponentially, and you guys can absolutely vouch for this as being homeowners. I mean, the how much, and you guys just got your property taxes. I'm still renting, but you guys just got your property taxes stuff, the other day. And I mean, you're seeing that it's going up.
Oh, it did go up.
Yeah. And it's going to keep going up.
Yeah. My land value jumped up like 20 or 30 grand.
Right. And I've been seeing that a lot in April Sound. Like a lot of people have been saying that. But I mean, just one particular place, and it's on a lake, and it's nice and that type of stuff. But people, I mean, it's prime real estate.
Yep.
And I mean, it's absolutely, it's people helping people. Going back to what we talked about before, if you are a homeowner and somebody comes like, oh, have you joined the chamber? It really is inexpensive for even a small business or a sole proprietorship to join the chamber for the year. If you really use those benefits as far as the continuing education, the networking stuff, all that good thing, it can boost your business, boost more people coming here. You can hire people, and it just keeps growing for everyone. If we all just kind of reach out and help each other, then everyone is helped.
Yeah. So do y'all work with city management as well? I heard you talk about traffic earlier, and when you said traffic, that's a buzzword for me, for a lot of people that live in any metropolitan area, right?
Which is weird to refer to Conroe as a metropolitan.
I know. We are literally 35 to 40 miles away from Houston, and we're still
we're going to be our own DMA at a certain point.
Okay.
We're going to be. They're looking to we're looking to be the size of Austin probably within the next 20 so years.
My goodness, that's crazy to think about. But you said things like traffic. So are you working also with city management? The pulse here, they're trying to get the heartbeat, so to speak, on businesses and the way things are happening and the rate of speed and those sorts of things. With city management to kind of say, hey, we need certain roads to do these certain things so that you can get to my business better, so that you can get out of my business better, so that the flow of traffic is a little bit healthier.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every chamber, to kind of take it macro again, every chamber talks, if you're part of the city management or not. We are not a part, we're a separate franchise. Entirely, not a part of the city of Conroe, which has its pros and cons for sure. But we talk to the city administrators, the city legislators, all that type of stuff as far as we're seeing this type of stuff. Our people are coming to us and saying that this traffic is this way, A, B, and C, and we advocate for them as best as we can. Okay. One of our ex officios on our board is Paul Vergadamo, who is the city administrator for the city of Conroe. And we have a lot of different people that come to our board meetings that represent the city in different ways. And that they hear from the horse's mouth, like how stuff is going, where it's going, how, all that stuff. And, he gets educated once a month at least, if not through the city council meetings that we make a point to be at and that type of thing, just as representatives of local business. So we definitely get the word to the right people, if they make the right decisions with that information. Not up to us, but it's our job to definitely advocate for the people that we can.
Okay.
Where we can.
Cool. Yeah, and you guys actually have some ways that you guys are actually reaching out to the community. I mean, you guys have the radio show, you guys have a podcast, you guys a lot of things that you guys are doing to do some community outreach. I mean, tell us about some of those.
We have a radio show on Lone Star Community Radio, which is 104.5 and 106.1 FM, right out of downtown Conroe with Dick Schisler. He's awesome and very helpful and a member of the chamber. He's a lot of fun and helps us a lot with our chamber chat radio show, which is the first Tuesday of every month. So make sure you're listening to that at 11 a.m. here locally. Or you can listen to it at irlonestar.com because they have all sorts of, if you're from here and you're listening to this, but you're somewhere else, you can listen to it. Or if you want to hear how local radio is supposed to be done, then you can listen to Dick. And we also do a podcast called The Shrimp Tank, which is originally out of Kennesaw State University in Atlanta. It's all about entrepreneurship and business tips and having business owners, small business owners, and large business owners actually come in and talk to us about their history, about how they started, their ups and downs, their successes, their obstacles, and how to run a business from scratch.
Yeah.
It's been really, really fun, and it's been just a cool like benefit for members of ours to be able to come in and talk about, like, I've been doing this, financial planning business for 30 years and this is how I started,
Yeah.
Or like I was throwing out the Conroe Courier little newspaper when I was 12 years old, and that was the first real job I had, and I realized I wanted to work for myself. Whatever it is, it's just, it's so cool to hear people's stories and to be able to share them and give people the encouragement to start their own business, especially here in our area.
Yeah, no, it's a good show. I actually found out about it because my friend Melanie was on there talking about her business, and she's obviously transitioned into some other stuff recently, but just a really cool show. I mean, just to kind of get into like how it's a good way to get to know people that have started businesses in your community,
right?
And like, again, it's not exactly face to face, but like it's just a way to get to know these guys.
Absolutely. And we talked about trust, and that's what it's all about. And if you are a homeowner and you want to, we've talked to people like from Mr. Rooter, and we've talked to people, all the East Coast air conditioning and heating and stuff like that. We've talked to these people
Make a note of that, Kevin. We need to have an air conditioning.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that just the other day.
Call Clyde Teranian at East Coast Air Conditioning and Heating. He is the man, and he is so sweet and so earnest, and has been running the business since 1983.
There you go.
Yeah, he's from Troy, Michigan. He came on down and he was sick of the snow, but there's things you learn about. You're like, oh man, now if I need my air done, I'm calling Clyde because he's a man. But it's something to listen to if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or a manager in general. But it's also so you can kind of learn things, as a business owner, but even as a homeowner. I mean, you can listen to those type of things, and we've talked to a lot of people that have started these considered like blue collar businesses, but have turned something into, turn it into really a career and a lifestyle where they're providing livelihoods for so many people in our community. And it's really cool. So then once you hear their story, like, oh, my wife passed away and it really changed how I started managing and stuff. You're like, oh, wow, dude. Like, I'm calling Mr. Rooter now because Roger Kurtz is the man, and if you need your plumbing done down from Woodlands all the way up to Willis, they'll do it for you, and, but yeah, we try and provide different benefits that are unusual and cool and fun and innovative for people, because like we've talked about, the landscape, if it's Conroe, if it's beyond here, if it's the world, the landscape has changed so much. So we really try and reflect that and be innovative.
Yeah. Well, with you handling kind of the marketing side of things, I mean, you might have like some good ideas, some good tips for people to find business in the new virtual world. I mean, what are some of the ways that you've found to find the best businesses online?
Well, I know most chambers, if not all, provide a member directory. So if you want to, it's not necessarily an endorsement because they paid dues, but if there are large issues and like moral issues and that type of stuff, then we have to think about whether or not they're going to be a member of our chamber.
I like people that kick other people out.
Right. I wouldn't be a part of any club that would have me as a member anyway. So, right. But I mean, that's one place to kind of start with your local chamber or your local Better Business Bureau. I mean, because those things are going to be highly regulated and looked into, and it's going to be an easy place to start. Like, you can always find the phone number too. If it's Houston, if it's Conroe, if it's Texas, if it's whatever, wherever you are, your local chamber or your Better Business Bureau are great places to start. Like, you go to Yelp or Google reviews, you may not get the most honest, real answers.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a good, and the thing is, the people at the chamber are going to have this type of rapport with the members. So if you call me and ask me, I need a plumber, then I'm going to suggest that you go to Roger Kurtz of Mr. Rooter, because I know him, and I see him 3 times a month, because he's really involved in that type of stuff.
And all of a sudden you build up trust with this person, right?
Exactly.
Circling back to what we were talking about earlier, is the more you're around people, you learn their heart, you understand who they are. And the bottom line is, whenever you've got that type of relationship with people, they're going to treat you differently too. So I think the relationship side of this thing is really important.
It's so important being a homeowner that when you do invite someone into your home, because we all have kids and stuff like that, when you invite someone into your home to do a small project or a large, like kind of drawn out project, you have to have some sort of level of trust with that person. You can't just get anybody off the street and hope they're going to fix your toilet right or whatever it is. So you have, to build that type of rapport and trust and that type of stuff, a chamber's a great way to do that. Better Business Bureau is a great way to do that. I mean, word of mouth, like I said, is just coming so much more in vogue. So it's a great place to start.
It's a high value commodity for sure.
Right. Because it's so rare. I mean, it's a priceless thing that you have to really work to get and don't have to work very hard to lose. And it's just a really important thing. And I think that the chamber is a big seller of that ideal. You know, it's a core value of ours to work with integrity and work for the best of the community. So,
and I would imagine one of the easier ways that like just a local homeowner or in any community that has a chamber wants to get to know the local business people better would be to go and volunteer at the chamber.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're gonna meet those people.
Right. If you come to any of our events, any of our volunteering opportunities, any of our networking events, anything like that, I mean, you'll see how we work. You'll see our values in action. You know, we are the hands and feet of the community. Like I always talk about that in church. Like, oh, you're going to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Mm-hmm. We're like the hands and feet of the community. Yeah. You know, we're in an elevated spot where we're a little bit more visible and can maybe hopefully get things done quicker for people in the community. And you know, if you like and want to be a part of that, then it's a great place to start. And then you get to know everybody and get to know, like, you know, I don't know. It's a beautiful thing. Like Conroe is such a unusual place that can be so big with about 82,000 people right now within the Conroe city limits, not including the whole, you know, area of thing like out here. I don't believe is within Conroe city limits.
Yeah, you drove like it's
right. You drove
like 100 yards down the road from here.
Exactly, but you're technically in Conroe.
Yeah,
and there's 82,000 people within the city limits, but to still have such a small town feel is beautiful. It's like, it's such a rarity. And just, if you like and want to be a part of that, a homeowner, a business owner, whatever it is, whatever your aspirations are, to come out and just see what we're doing, because a lot of people don't know.
So what kind of volunteer opportunities do you have?
Well, we have a lot of different committees, like I was talking about. We only have 6 employees, and each of us has our own little like area. So I do the marketing. We have a special events person. We have a finance person. We have a membership person, a president, and then a person at our front desk. So to answer calls that, you know, we are the old school Google. People call and ask for like, well, there used to be this tire shop, and it was maybe like 3 or 4 blocks from you guys, and we're all looking at each other like, I don't know, man. Like, that's, you know, so we're trying to look and we're Googling stuff for people on the phone. Like it's pretty funny.
That's funny.
But we were the Chamber of Commerce was a place where a lot of people came just for general information about, you know, can you get a phone number? Like if you didn't have a phone book or a map or something like that, then you would come to the chamber. So now we are the Google of the older generation, the greatest generation. We keep telling ourselves. But yeah, when we get 85-year-olds being like, do you know the tire shop? It used to be, dude, when was it? Maybe 60 years ago? I don't know, man. I don't know. But as far as volunteer opportunities, you can come and be a part of any one of our committees, because each of our different events and each of our different like governmental affairs and stuff like that all have separate committees. So, and they are absolutely 100% or 95% volunteer driven. So the trips that we take, the advocacy that we do, the events that we put on are a lot, because, you know, like say for Taste Fest in June, we have a big like Taste of Town type of thing. And we have, you know, 2,000, 3,000 people come through the doors, and we have to have that many vendors. But we have one person that does special events. Wow. So we need people to go out to these restaurants and be like, you would like to be a part of this. 3,000 people are going to walk by your food. Do you want to, okay, sign up. It's $150. Let's do this. You know? So we have to have volunteers for that. But each of our events, each of our kind of advocacy areas have different opportunities for volunteers. And if you don't know if you want to join, but you want to maybe be a part of it, and you don't know if you really want to be on that committee or not, just come to one. You don't have to come back. Just check it out, because if you see what we're doing and how we're doing it, and with the passion and determination and, you know, commitment that we're doing it, and we've been doing it for 85 years now, then you're going to want to be a part of it.
Is there an age limit to be able to volunteer? Like, do you have to be a certain age in order to volunteer?
I mean, we don't have volunteering in the way that something like a soup kitchen or something would have volunteering. So if there's something like that, or like community service type of volunteering, no. But as far as being a part of a committee or, working Lobster Fest or something like that, where we do need, 60, 70 people to be able to help us get all the silent auction stuff done and all that type of stuff, then no.
Okay. So a teenager, for example, if a family wants to bring, mom and her teenage, daughter, that would be an option.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. If they want to see the process and they want to, we've, for Lobster Fest, we had a lot of big tables and a lot of like auction items and that type of stuff. We had a group of teenage boys from one of our regular volunteers. She's like, my son and his friends want to come and just like help us break down tonight. Perfect. Just find somebody, and we need 15 strong 17-year-olds. Let's do this. And we'll figure out a place for you.
Well, and I'll actually speak up for the chamber because full disclosure, I am a member. But so one of the morning mingles, I actually took my daughter, who's 10. And she actually ended up volunteering that morning to help to give away some of the door prizes and things like that. And she had a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, she's way better at networking than I am. So
she's just friendly. She just
exactly
takes after her mama.
Yeah, big time. Thank God.
Right. But it's cool. It's cool we talk about our next generation leadership program that we have, like this, rising seniors and stuff that get to be and go try out different jobs, sort of like each once a month and that type of thing. We have that type of thing that's already in place, but we do, like, if they want to come to something like after hours ones, like the Fun After Fives tend to have adult beverages, so we don't really encourage kids to come. But if the person that's hosting it, like we had one at Berry Hill Mexican restaurant, and everyone was having some adult beverages, enjoying themselves and that type of stuff. But the person that wanted to put it on, he's a platinum member of the chamber. Mm-hmm. He invited his kids along, and they were super fun and helped us with our raffle and everything like that, and it was great. So it's not necessarily like a volunteer opportunity, but we also did a whole event at the fair. We do a lot of different stuff with the county fair, and beyond the scholarships and everything. Like last night, we bought a pig and a broiler at the auction and stuff like that. But people went and brought their kids and the whole nine. So it's really a lot of the stuff we do is a family affair.
Okay,
so,
great.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know exactly what our time limit has come to at this point, but one of the questions that I want to ask you specifically is, we've hit on a few things related to homeowners. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that we haven't asked, or anything that is maybe homeowner related, regarding the chamber that you would be interested in talking to us about?
I think using our member directory is a great resource. It's like ours is at Conroe.org. It has a whole full list of everybody that is a member. So if you are looking for something specific, people aren't getting the yellow pages anymore. And people, if you don't want to just Google stuff or like read all those Yelp reviews like we were talking about, it's one place that's kind of objective and has a whole list of, everybody that has committed to being a member. So that's one way that we can really be a resource for people. A lot of people might work from home and that type of thing, and you can be a member as a person that works from home, or a nonprofit, or HEB, or Kroger, or whoever you are.
I was going to say, I don't think a lot of people know that as a nonprofit, you can be a member of the chamber as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have reduced rates because we recognize we're nonprofit, eye for an eye, we get it. But yeah, if you're starting off something new, or a nonprofit, like I said, like from nonprofits to sole proprietorships, all the way up to Walgreens are members. So,
and home-based businesses are just booming right now.
Mm-hmm. They're thinking over the next couple to several years, it's going to be about 50% of people are going to be like freelance home-based people.
Yeah.
So it's another great resource, As far as home ownership, I'm trying to think of anything else that might be a good.
Well, a lot of people are even doing, little side hustles, right? That are businesses that they've got a, LLC or whatever it is that they've got, that are working out of their home. They're doing it just in the evenings, or, on their days off or whatever.
Weekends and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And those people can be part, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you are working from home and you can't get out enough, like you can't just see enough people face to face, our networking events are huge because you can come in and see 50, 60, 80 people at once for a couple hours, network a little bit, and go home and be like, oh wow, like I found some new people that I can do business with.
Absolutely. Okay,
So.
great. All right. Craig, you got any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
right, I'm
I know
good.
it's kind of a lot of chamber related stuff, but
No, that's it's awesome. I mean, like I said, I'm there's a lot of this that I was just unaware of, and so I think you've given a lot of clarity to what the chamber is and why it's beneficial to the community that we live in. You know, when you were talking about the directory, one of the things that came to my mind is if you just go on Google, for example, you're sitting at your home and you need a plumber. You may Google, plumbers near me, and you may get people in 4 or 5 different cities. If you live in a community like we do, where we're in a suburb, I mean, there's lots of little communities right around us, and so if you really want to pour into a certain community, you want to pour money back into Conroe, for example. You really do need to look for businesses that are in Conroe,
Right.
and you need to understand that a plumber near you may not be the best option because a plumber on the other side of Conroe may be more than willing to drive to your house.
right.
So the chamber might be a really good resource for people that are in the community, and on some level they are making an effort to be part of that community because they're members of the chamber.
That's a huge and great point as far as the money you make. Say you work here in Conroe and you want to keep the money in Conroe, keep it going to Conroe ISD, keep it going to the roads here, keep it going to the infrastructure here. If you want to find somebody that definitely does business and is in Conroe or the Lake Conroe area, because a lot of it is Conroe and a little bit into Montgomery, a little bit of Willis, just because it's around Lake Conroe. It's a great place to find people that are definitely in the right place, and you're going to keep money here and know that, I mean, obviously Walgreens, HEB, all that type of stuff are going to be national or, close to national regional companies.
Right.
But you can find these mom and pops that are like, oh, I didn't realize that they had a little shop that I want to get a candle for my mom for Mother's Day or whatever. And you can find this little shop that's a part of the chamber, and you know that your money can stay right here in Conroe. And it's a great point for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and one of the things I really appreciate about the chamber is that you guys are helping them get themselves out there, because I love buying local, but I find it more and more difficult to find them.
Right. And inconvenient sometimes when you're trying, like if I can get on Amazon.com and get something here in 2 days, there's a certain level of convenience. But if shopping local and keeping money here local in Conroe or in whatever area you're listening from is important to you with those smaller things, you might have your Amazon Prime for all your toilet paper every month or whatever it is. But
Sure.
If you want to get that, unique little cool gift or whatever it is, and you want to stay local in Conroe, and Chamber's a great place to find those type of people.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Y'all have any other big events or anything coming up?
We do. As far as our Taste Fest, that's the biggest thing that's coming up this summer. It's a big taste the town type of thing. We have a whole bunch of different vendors, a local and small business and national brands will all be there, and the tickets are $20. At the door, $30. It's on June 6th, at the Lone Star Convention Center. And like I said, we had over 2,000 people last year, so we're really anticipating with kind of this upped marketing and stuff like that we're really hoping for 2,500, 3,000 people. So if you are a business owner and want to be a vendor, then you can be. If you are a business owner but you don't sell food, you can be a sponsor. And if you just want to show up and eat a whole bunch of food and drink a whole bunch of wine, then we can facilitate that as well.
Awesome.
So
y'all don't need some MCs for that, do you?
I mean, I'll get y'all a couple tickets to go on.
There you go.
I know somebody.
There you go. Now we're talking.
But yeah, that should be fun. And then Lobster Fest is our other big event, and that's in October. So, Look forward to that. Lobster and steak and shenanigans. Really good stuff.
Well, I'm glad we hung on, because I did think of something I wanted to ask you.
Nope.
No. She's cutting me off.
No, what did you have?
Just like Lobster Fest last year.
That's right.
Exactly. Craig, you cannot come up here anymore. Enough.
You've had too much butter, sir.
You've had too much clarified butter, sir. No more.
It's never enough with the clarified butter. But, I'm thinking about, because we have a lot of listeners that are not in Conroe, not in Texas, and different things like that. And so, I may be biased, but I think that our chamber does a really good job.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And that's not just because of those tickets.
Wink, wink.
They help.
But so if I'm in my community and like say I'm a business owner, say I'm a homeowner, what should I be looking for in regards to the chamber in my town to recognize whether or not they're doing a good job?
Right. I would give them a call, check their website and see what kind of initiatives they have going on. Like a lot of them are going to have their core values, their main committees and stuff like that you can get involved in.
So a website's a good start. If they have a website.
Right. In theory, right. There's going to be some small towns that just aren't going to have them, and you're just going to have to call on the rotary phone and just see if you can maybe get a hold of them.
I would love to have a rotary phone. Can we get one in the studio?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You could probably just find one on the side of the road or something.
Probably true.
In a landfill.
Probably true.
But yeah, it's always a good place for any business to have because you have that 24/7, when maybe your brick and mortar isn't open, you have that 24/7 kind of marketplace that you can show yourself off, and infinite space on the internet. So if somebody isn't taking advantage of that for $100 a year with WordPress or whatever that is, just to at least have that basic information, how to contact your kind of core values, what you're working towards, the committees you have, that type of stuff. It's a great place to kind of check it out. And a big part of it is the advocacy of small business around town. So us having our member directory and consistently advertising our member base and everything on social media and stuff. That's a nice plus, but it's also something that if they're doing the right things, they should be doing. We do a member of the month. It's not really picked by any sort of certain criteria or anything, but we just want to focus on different industries, different areas.
Is there a hat?
Yes, there's free hats.
No, is there a hat that you're I want to know if there's like a hat that you're picking.
Craig, what is it that you really want? You want a hat? I'll give you a hat.
No, because
do you want a free? I'll give you a hat with the tickets in it, dude.
No, she's saying
I know what you mean.
how she's picking people. I want to know if there's a hat that they're picking the names out of.
People are always coming in and out of our building for meetings and committees and that type of stuff. So when I see somebody that I haven't talked to yet, I'm like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Like, it'll just be a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I just want to do a member of the month video.
Ah, okay.
Like, great. So I'm like, hey, can you tape this real quick? All right, cool. Here's my phone. Like, hey, it's Ashleigh Allwood. I'm with the Conroe Chamber, and today's month of the, member of the month is Craig Williams of Excalibur Pest Control, whatever. And we talk about it, like, why did you end up joining the chamber?
Yeah.
Why would you suggest other people joining the chamber? And, whatever you want to share about your business, and just do a little video like that just once a month. And, because, we're in business for business.
Yeah.
Like, we want to put the word out and get our businesses more business and more people here so they can go to these businesses, So, I think the online presence right now is you're going to see if people are with it and updating it regularly and are available.
Yeah.
I think something that the Conroe Chamber does specifically better than a lot of others, because we only do have 6 people, but we're available to people for anything they need.
Right.
If like we're going to a gala tonight that's for businesswomen in this area, and we're like, okay, let's get a table together. Let's go. Let's represent ourselves. Just so people not necessarily know about the chamber, but know what we do as a chamber for the community. So if you see them out and about, if you see them online, if they'll make themselves present. And if they don't, then it's like, But it's a good thing that, you could be the catalyst that takes a chamber to the next level.
Yeah.
If it is small and has, like the Montgomery area chamber has one absolutely incredible woman that runs it, Shannon Reed, and she's the only employee, and she does everything for them, and she's just the boss. She's awesome. But and it's only for like the downtown area and stuff like that, because she recognizes her limitations. But if you go and join that chamber, you become a part of it, you come volunteer, you start advocating, you start doing whatever, and you are the change you want to see.
Yeah. So
from both sides, this is how you know if a chamber is doing well and if you want to be a part of it. But if it's not, why not join it and change it? Change your community.
Because especially if you'd seen one before, be effective.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like be that person. Be that diplomat, that ambassador for your area. If you really feel that strongly about it, go do it. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
It's on the side of a coffee mug. It might as well be in this podcast. Right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I think you've given us a lot of information, and you've even mentioned the website conroe.org. We'll link that up in the show notes, and anything else that we can link up, we will as well. But
I appreciate it.
well, cool. We got just one last thing that we do with all of our guests. It's called
Terrifying.
the Final Four.
The Final Four.
All right. I hope I'm prepared.
I hope you are too. These are the hardest questions you'll ask all day.
God, I hope so.
I'm asking them. They're the hardest questions you will answer all day. All right.
I hope so.
All right. So here we go. 4 questions.
I'm
Number
ready.
1. What's the must-have tool you won't leave your house without? So if you're coming over to help Craig with random project, you got to grab one tool. What are you bringing?
Right. Well, in Texas, this time of year, it's generally Kleenex, even though I forgot them at home today. Kleenex would probably be number 1.
Yeah.
But number 2, given our conversation at the very beginning,
Yeah.
my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not that handy of a person, and I am kind of more electronically and stuff because I do a lot of stuff on the computer for my job.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as fixing anything around the house, forget it. So I would have my handy phone, be able to look up if it's on Conroe.org, or if I am calling whoever to find a plumber, to find a carpenter, whatever we needed. If we had just crap and everything flowing through the yard, then I would just call somebody and help them.
I would love to know. We need to go back and kind of listen. How many people would say the number 1 tool they would take with them is their phone? So far, it is the number 1 thing that people would grab. So
Yeah, it has definitely been the number 1. I also just learned that it means crap.
Right. It's a universal sign language.
this is
Everywhere.
crap.
I just picture it coming out of like the septic system, like a geyser.
Was it the other way around?
If you're listening to this, I can only imagine what you're thinking that the hand gestures we're making right now.
It's not Kevin's big purple finger again. That's for sure.
No.
It's like Old Faithful, the geyser hands.
There you go.
Like
Yeah.
doing it like like a fountain, like out of a blowhole of a whale, sort of. That's what I'm kind of
It's
imagining.
a really good visual.
Right.
Sea
Crap.
was angry that day.
You know what?
my
It could have been a
friends.
lot worse. I could have used a lot weirder language or
that's
something.
true.
So
That's true.
let's just be happy, guys. And this
Number 2. Speaking of,
is- speaking of crap, no.
what's a job you walked away from?
Just recently, we still rent, my husband and I, and we thankfully have a landlord that's pretty receptive, and if we call, then they send somebody out. But we're really, really trying because our garbage disposal didn't work for a while. I had I'm really sorry, Cal, if you're listening to this, but I put some celery stringiness in the garbage disposal, and I didn't really think about it really screwing anything up too bad, but it did.
Did he not know about that until now?
Yeah, no. I mean, I've never had one like that was so wussy, I guess. I don't know. I've always put most anything down in there and it's been fine.
That's
but-
where I would put celery right down the garbage
Right.
disposal.
Well, it was just like a little bit, like not whole, not like a whole thing of it.
Okay.
Right.
Trying to get rid of it.
Why did somebody buy this?
Right. This tastes disgusting.
Yes.
Why don't I just shove this whole entire head of celery?
I scooped the peanut butter out first, and then I ate that.
And the
then
raisins.
and then the celery went right down the garbage disposal.
Right. Get it out of here. That nasty stringy garbage that doesn't even have any caloric value. But at any rate, it was like some leftover, like I made some soup or whatever, and there was like a little bit left over. I put the raw celery down in there and the stringy bits got it all messed up. So they sent somebody out and fixed it, we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So sometime down the road, maybe a week or two down the road, it started not working again. So my husband went being handy and really wanting to do it and not having to call the landlord again and just be those people. He went and got like a snake and stuff and was trying to do it. And I was trying to help with a flashlight and the whole nine. And there was just no helping it. We got like a 25-foot snake, or something like that. And supposedly when they sent the plumber back out, we went DIY to call on somebody. It was like 27 feet, like whatever the blockage was. It was like
2
right
feet away.
Right. It was like right beyond like how far the snake could go. So yeah, we left that project to the professionals and I'm glad that we did because now our garbage disposal has been working fine.
It's celery free.
Celery free.
Man.
Here's a pro tip that you maybe didn't know. You're learning
Don't
a
buy
lot
celery.
today. Never eat celery. It's disgusting. No.
Put it in the trash, though.
Right. Or cook it until it's really squishy and then you can put it down.
and I will tell you that most plumbers will say that the bane of their existence are garbage disposals because
Oh, yeah.
they're saying you're never supposed to put stuff like that.
Garbage to dispose of.
Down your drains. It's not what they were meant for.
That's my issue, is that if
I have
you're
one, by the way.
Right. Like if you're going to put a huge motor and machine in there that's supposed to grind up all my food, what food can I put in there and what can't I? Because that's some garbage. Like I'm going to put other stuff down there. I'm not going to shove like tons of like, carb mufflers and stuff in there. Can I put stuff that I didn't eat, which was 99% of my food? I'm going to put 1% of my food down there, but it breaks it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Trash. Put it in the trash.
Right.
All right.
We have since then, and we've been happily, badness free.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Your landlord thanks you.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. How do you wind down at the end of a long day?
Well, I like to get home, and I have a daughter that's going to be 2 on April 11th, so I'm really excited that she's talking and stuff like that, but I like to be able to visit with her, have some wine. I won't say how much, but have some wine. And if it is nice, because we live like very close to the lake and stuff like that, a nice little breeze comes by usually. I like to sit on the back porch and just have a glass of wine with my daughter playing, and that type of stuff, and just hang out, catch up on the day with my husband, and just enjoy Texas weather before it gets too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a-coming.
Hey, here it comes.
Lordy.
Here it comes. Don't complain about the cool weather, because the other's coming.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. So if it's 120 every day for the rest of my life, I'll be okay.
Yeah, that's true.
If it was negative 120 anymore, I was just going to jump off into Lake Erie. I swear.
That's funny. All right, last question. You're in the home stretch here.
Yes.
What is one of the best pieces of wisdom or advice that you've ever received?
My mom always said, and I've been through some different stuff. I did divorce, a whole bunch of different jobs. I moved from Ohio to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Charleston, South Carolina, and now live here in Houston, Texas. And the best advice that I've ever really gotten from anyone was my mom. And she said, if you don't know what decision to make, don't make one yet. Because the universe, God, whatever you believe in, the giant spaghetti monster in the sky, whatever, will present itself in a way that you will have to make a decision, and it will be for the best for you or your family or whatever it is. It's always, I didn't know if I wanted to leave a marriage. I didn't know if I wanted to leave Charlotte. I didn't know if I should really leave Ohio, but then stuff just, I'll look for jobs and just see. I wasn't sure. And I found one, and it paid twice as much as my job in Ohio. Okay, perfect. Let's move to Charlotte, And these things have always just kind of presented themselves. And the universe, God, spaghetti monster, Buddha, Vishnu, whoever, has just taken care of each step, And I have a lot of girlfriends who are like, well, I don't know. And if I should change jobs and I have kids and I don't know what to do, if I should put them in private, if I should put them in public schools, if I should do, and I always tell them that. I'm like, if you don't know which decision to make, just don't make one yet.
Yeah, don't put them in school then. Just wait.
Right. Just have them be a feral child just running in the yard.
How old is your kid? 12, but I don't know where to put him.
Right. He doesn't respond to his name. He just goes, and that's it. That's it.
I could hang with that kid.
That kid sounds like a boss.
Yes. Oh, man. He probably will be a boss someday.
Right. My boss. Dang. At the chamber.
That's good advice.
You'll have to figure out what that means now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all in the intonation.
Give me that TPS report.
Yeah. There's different tones.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
Well, thank you. That's great advice. And, I feel like, I do feel like sometimes we try to make hasty decisions. In fact, it's one of the things my wife and I have tried to do is, especially with big decisions, is don't make them, over dinner. Make them over at least a night or two of sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Sleep on it, or if you got to sleep on it for 2 months or 2 years, it's better to have made that decision and know that you. If it's like leaving a relationship, or if it's putting a huge, addition onto your house, or having another child, or whatever it is, it just, no one's rushing.
Yeah.
Humans rush. The universe, God, spaghetti monster, whatever, doesn't rush. It's all in time,
That's right.
And we're rushing a timeline that we're not really privy to, and we just need to just keep going.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for joining us. It's been fun. It's
Absolutely.
been good, informative.
Yes.
Hopefully your listeners got a different little taste instead of just tools and wood and carpentry and stuff today.
Yeah.
That's more Kevin's department.
Yeah. I wish I had more time to do that. Anyway, but it's been great. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's been really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, thank you for listening to this episode today. If you're looking for us, have friends who are looking for us, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter. You can find us always on iTunes, Google Play. Actually, Google Podcast is probably
they've
the better.
Changed.
Yeah, Google Podcast is the better place for that. Stitcher. Lots of other platforms that you can find us on. So if you ever need anything, give us a shout. If you've got a question or an episode idea, info@homeownershow.com. You can find us there.
Or call the chamber because we answer every question from the history of man.
There you go. They are Google.
They will Google us for you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Well,
I'll
cool.
happily Google anything for you guys.
Awesome. Anything else, Craig?
Just hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe to us. And leave a review. We're here every Tuesday. So until then, see you next time.
See ya.